Phone recording. All right. Let me see. Yeah. We in the building. All right. So y'all know I gotta start the podcast off a certain way. I ain't telling the people why, but I gotta do it. You know what I mean? All right. What's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Highlight Reel.
I'm never gonna get over that face, cause I ain't gonna lie.
I do it because it's funny, but
it is funny.
For the viewers that can see us, you can see I have two special guests, of course, and I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. We're gonna start with the lady right here. What's your name and who are you?
What's up? I'm Malena.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Jashua. What's good?
What's good? What's good? All right, so I just wanted to have two of my closest friends on this episode because I think I told them when I first started the podcast that I wanted to have them as guests, and I was like, why not have? I can't remember when. I know I said right when I started the podcast, like I wanted to have y'all on it. But I was like, why not go ahead and shoot an episode with y'all now? So here we are. Today, we was like, because I remember when I brought up the episode I did to y'all, I was like, what are we going to talk about? Right? And then kind of sat down and we thought about some questions and whatnot. So then I went ahead and wrote those questions down. Let's talk about how old we are. So I'm 23. How old are you?
23.
Okay.
24.
All right, so as you can see, we're all in our early to mid 20s, basically. And we're going to talk about some questions that we all have about life, you know, just as young adults. So we're going to go ahead and get into these. I remember, so the questions that we had, I didn't write them down in order or anything like that. I just wrote them down because I feel like maybe the order that we talked about them was a good order or whatever. But, all right, so again, today's episode is, what are we going to talk about? So it's these questions. All right, so what have y'all been learning from y'all's relationships? Like, and when I say relationships, I do mean dating relationships.
Oh, this is not platonic either.
I mean, yes, we can add that as well. Because it's like, I feel like you would say friendships if you said that. So whichever one you want to.
Either way with me.
Okay, so which one? All right.
I guess, yeah, platonic and relationship wise, I think the biggest thing that I've learned is having people in your life that truly values you.
Mm-hmm.
I say that's bigger in the relationship category just because of how the last relationship ended.
Oh.
you know the story, but it just was not valuing me like like he should have been. So that can fall into platonic relationships too. Is having people in your life that truly value you, as an individual and that accepts you in all shapes and forms.
Okay, Jashua, what about you? Go ahead.
What you been learning?
Hey,
Jay?
yo. Let me think. Well, I got a couple things that I've learned, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just me personally, I know the person I am, and I think I've always known that. I'm kind of unagreeable, a little bit stuck in my ways, a little angry.
Okay. I
accept it though, and I feel like I come into that, not that, but every relationship, and people know that,
okay.
But I think that just given the way that, I don't even know if I want to say, not women, but the reaction, the natural reaction to how I am. It makes it hard, you know what I mean? So I'm what you would say a hard pill to swallow, I guess. So what I learned is to appreciate the people that appreciate me.
Oh, okay.
You know
so
what I
you're
mean?
saying you have realized that you're as a person a hard pill to swallow, or you're saying people have been telling you that?
No, I highly believe that.
Okay, so that's something that you were already aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
And that you're saying that from the relationships, your dating relationships, you've been learning to accept that.
Yeah, because you don't think that when you have that as a young person, what kind of person you are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it might not be something that you necessarily accept. It could be something that it's just what you're a part of, and you're just going through the motions. I was aware of it, but I wasn't aware of it to the point that I am now. Now I can see a relationship and say, okay, this girl is like this, I'm like this. I know that this is not going to work out, so I'm going to save both of us the trouble. You know what I mean? I usually tend to find people that butt heads with me a lot. So what I do is I look for the opposite of what I like.
You look for the opposite of what you like?
I look for the opposite of what I like.
Ooh. Okay. Wow.
You want me to tell you why I do that?
Yeah, I want you to explain it.
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
What I like from a sexual standpoint, which is arguing, and you gotta think about that from a it's kind of abstract. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you're a person that you like a certain amount of disarray, you know, I've been in relationships that are very argumentative. I've been in relationships where there's been police called and I don't have to restrain her from trying to hit me, stuff like that. You know, all type of stuff. Just being honest, you know what I mean? That's real. And so when you have that type of relationship with people, you gotta understand, bro. It makes you think the way I'm thinking. I'm not gonna put myself into that situation no more. So with that, if I know that we're gonna butt heads, and I know that makes me feel some type of way from this standpoint, because that's fun when it's first started. You know, you get the girl that's she got a little bit of an attitude when she see you got a female friend. That's cute at first, like, oh, she actually care about me. Later on, what can that become?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. So those little things that I was attracted to as a young man became problems that I had to deal with in my relationship later on. So I stopped looking for those things that satisfied me sexually, which was those type of things.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You see what I'm trying to say?
So you feel like you're maturing?
Yeah, for sure.
Go. Okay. Yeah. And I don't want you to think, of course, I don't think you think this, but I'm not laughing at you. I think I'm laughing because I can already refer to some of the things that you're talking about. It's like, yeah, I remember that time. That was a fun time.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't think you laughing at me, bro. I don't care if you is laughing at me. Don't bother me, bro.
All right. And what have I been learning from my relationships?
I was going to ask you that. Actually, I forgot to say that.
No, you good. I think I'm not saying I wasn't accountable.
How you on your phone, nigga?
Not because, like, I'm making sure we all together. Oh. What I was going to say was, I think that I've been learning to be a little more accountable. I don't want to say I wasn't accountable then, but I've said this, you know, as I've said before, I've been in enough relationships and the only constant is me. So if they didn't work out, what is it that I did or what is it that I didn't do?
Yeah.
And I try to, you know, take accountability for that to make sure I'm improving in those areas going forward. Because I feel like I've been learning accountability is, if people can be a very accountable person, that is like one of the biggest things I respect. It's like, all right, you wrong, but do you know you're wrong?
Right.
Mm-hmm. If you can say, yes, I know I was wrong, then good. Because now, of course, after the fact, like, I would rather somebody be accountable in the moment. Like, let's say you're going through it with somebody and you like, bro, you're wrong. And they're gaslighting you saying, no, I'm not. That, like, that's terrible. But as long as you learn it at some point. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned. I'm trying to become more accountable in whatever situation. It's like, all right, I was wrong. Say that, because someone respects that and they appreciate that. It's like, all right, you wronged me. I need you to acknowledge that. Can you please do that? Because when you don't, it's like, well, you obviously just lost that person on that front right there. So how do you plan to get that back? So accountability is a huge thing for me, and I'm learning to become a more accountable guy and just trying to be a more responsible guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We might touch on that a little bit in a second, but but that's just something I've been learning. All right, so what else we got? Oh yeah, what are y'all scared of right now as young 20-something people? What are y'all scared of right now? I'll start. So I am super scared of a few things, of course, but one of them is not being financially stable. Terrified of that. I cannot.
I think we all feel that.
Yeah.
That I cannot have that though. And
especially us being out on our own. Yeah. You know, you got your own spot. You got to keep up with that.
Yeah, and y'all got pets. So y'all essentially, to me, have children. Yeah. When y'all have pets, y'all have children. I'm learning that. Because there be times where I'm trying to kick with you, and you'll be like, yeah, I gotta go walk my dog. I'm like, excuse me? Yeah. How big is your dog? Can't that thing walk itself? And not to say it like that.
It should be able to, so
but it's like, when I hear that, I'm learning that's a child. That's a child. You got plants. Those are essentially children too. You know what I mean? You got fish. Any of that stuff. I don't have none of that stuff. I'm saying, nah, I'm nobody's nothing. I gotta take care of me first. And I think, you know, the better care I take of myself, then of course I'll be able to take better care of other things, other people. But yeah, being financially stable. And then also I think since I've kind of gone on this path toward really going after the things I want, it's scary sticking to it when things might not be showing that they're fruitful at first, when they might not show like, oh, you getting immediate results. It's like, dang, I have to stick with this. Like, I just got to stick with it. If I want it, you have to stick with it. And that's something that is scaring me, because I'm also aware that if I do stick with it, this could change my life. And that sounds great, right?
Yeah.
Until your life starts changing, you don't know what to do with it. It's like, oh, shoot, I got to cut this person off.
Right.
Or I got to move different. I got to say no to this family member, say no to this family member. I haven't run into that yet, but those are things that I would have to run into. So that's some stuff that I'm kind of scared of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what about y'all?
Well, bro, I feel like there's a couple of things for me as well. I'm worried about my familial structure. You know, as I'm getting older, I think all of us deal with it, but as you get older, you start to realize that everything ain't so pretty in the fam, right?
Yeah.
So when I found out my stuff specifically, you know, it was kind of flabbergasting, you know what I mean? And I'm a very introspective person. So when I think about it and I think about the type of people that are willing to do the type of things that's going on, I won't talk to you. I will completely separate from you, like totally and wholly, just because if I'm going to start my own family, I'm trying to protect their energy. You know, if I'm going to have potential kids, I don't want my kids around poison. You see what I'm trying to say? Poison, you already know what poison do. I don't got to explain that. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about my friends. You know, I got a lot of friends that are messing up, to be honest. They're going to jail. I got a cousin that's facing 8 to 10, you know. A lot of things like that are worrying me because it seems like all of that's falling apart.
Yeah.
And, you know, I miss those easier times when all my homies was, you know, skateboarding outside, playing the game, just worried about getting money, going to jobs, going to school and stuff like that. You know, it's easier times.
Right.
And honestly, the last thing I'm worried about probably is the next generation. So I'm very nervous.
Are you talking about in general or the next generation that comes from you?
Nah, not me.
Okay.
But I am worried in general. Yeah, in general. I'm very nervous because
I think we all are.
I'm very. Y'all know me pretty well. You know, you're learning, but I'm pretty good at guessing stuff. I can't figure out what's gonna happen, and it scares the crap out of me because I'm just very comfortable in knowledge. When I know something, it makes me more comfortable. When I genuinely don't know what's gonna happen, it freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. I couldn't not keep that one. You can bleep it out, but that had to come.
Don't worry.
But I second what you said about the next generation.
Yeah.
Like the other day I went back to my high school, and those students.
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
It was so bad. Like, they had just had a big old brawl on one of the floors. Like, nobody broke it up. It was the kids talk back, bold, do what they want. I'm like, and talking to my old teachers, they like, we miss y'all low key. Like, y'all don't act nothing like them. So this next generation, I don't know what's coming out of them, to be completely honest. So I second what you said about that. I think for me, it's a couple things. One, I feel like lately I've just been experiencing death, and you know, some people in my family, like last year was horrible. My grandmother had passed away, and then like a couple months after that, like I had a friend that committed suicide and some more stuff, and then somebody else who we grew up with, that was like, we don't know how, it could have been suicide or it could have been, so it was just like that. And then also my grandfather, it just turned 94 back in December. So when you do the math, it's like he's not about to be here too much longer. And the past week he just been like refusing to go to dialysis, so and that's really what's keeping him here for real. So hospice was ready for him and everything. So I think that I'm scared of because and I'm trying to prepare for it.
Yeah.
But I know my mental is not going to be right after that. So that's one thing that I'm scared about. I'm trying to prepare myself though. And then the next one, right now, I think you kind of touched up on it. Mm-hmm. You probably briefly said something about it in one of your earlier podcasts, but I think right now I'm low-key afraid of my potential. Like what I could become. Just because at how much responsibility, like say if you do these, you take the steps that you want to take to get where you want to go. That's going to have so much responsibility on you. It's like, dang, now you got to keep that up.
Right. It's like, do you really want it?
Right.
That keep that up part is what hit me, man.
Yeah,
when you said that hit.
You got to keep that up, man, because you could definitely fall right back down to where you started.
Cause
I know I want it, but still, because I haven't had those certain responsibilities yet, I'm still scared of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not trying to think small. So, like, you got to... I want these things, so I need to do what I need to do to get it. But yeah, it's a terrifying place. But I feel like, as I've said recently, I feel like once you start making the small steps toward it, you start saying, "Oh wait, hold up, okay, I'm building momentum."
Yeah,
you'll give yourself something to be proud about. It's like, all right, I got this step done, got this thing done. Instead of looking at it as like one big old thing that you need to do. Each one little small thing that you do was, gradually.
And see, I overthink, so overthinking just don't help with that either. And it just be like, you know what, I get overwhelmed and be like, fuck it, like.
Yeah. See, I think it's funny though, because I think obviously we're three different people, but it sounds like we're scared of a lot of the same things right now. Like you touched on death, I won't even go there for me, but there's been a lot going on with that. And then like what's gonna happen after us, and even what's gonna happen from me as far as my family. It's like those are the things that I think about, because it's like a butterfly effect. Whatever you do today really can affect what happens afterwards. So I'm just trying to be very cognizant of that, because it's like if I don't do what I need to do properly, then what needs to happen will not properly happen. So I need to be smart about what I do.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all said some good points. All right. So my next question is, what are some of y'all's biggest goals as of right now? My first one is to get rid of whatever student debt I get. Like I know how much I got, but getting rid of that immediately, because I know some people.
I was waiting on Joe. Joe played.
We still waiting on him. Hopefully that gets done. But
yeah, because I'm tired of giving them money, and I'm tired of them calling my phone.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that if we get that relief, that'd be great. That relief would be great. You good over there? You straight?
Yeah, too much ganja.
Okay. But so if we get that relief, that'd be great. But if I'm trying to prepare for us to not get it, that way I don't get my hopes up and spend like we're about to.
Right.
But I want to get rid of that immediately, because I know some people get their student debt from school and they're paying on it for like the next 20 to 40 years or something like that. I'm like, I'm not even trying to pay on it for another 5. You know what I mean? I'm trying to knock that out as soon as possible so I can start to put that money that's supposed to go to there somewhere else. So what about y'all?
It's house time, baby.
House time, what you mean?
I'm trying to get me a house, nigga. Get me a house. That's it. I'm smooth. I'm trying to build my fort, bro.
I feel it.
That's my goal. Like, I want my fort to be built. Another thing I learned as I'm getting older, I'm not really like everybody else when it comes to stuff like that. Honestly, bro, I'm cool with making good money and being cool. I'm not trying to be one of them dudes that's trying to be millionaires or nothing like that. I'm not tripping on that. Because to me, I've always learned this thing: more money, more problems. And at the end of the day, bro, we
was just talking about
every millionaire. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Every millionaire will tell you, "Oh, this is gonna be interesting." I forgot about that part. Every millionaire will tell you this. Once you get to like the 100,000 mark, a little bit above that, bro, you smooth for real. It's really nothing more that you necessarily need. So anything more than that, bro, to me, it's the greedy type thing. You don't need that. But it's nothing wrong with being a greedy person. You know what I mean? That's a capitalistic thing. In order to survive in a capitalistic society, you have to be like that. So I understand it. I'm sure you have something to say to that.
You look like you was waiting. You was waiting. You got something to say, then I'll go.
You say something, and then I'll go.
Okay. The biggest goal right now, is staying consistent with my business, with my personal business. So that was a goal for this year, because last year I was horrible. I was barely posting, not really making content. So this year we definitely been better. So that, maintaining my mental health, because this world is crazy. So maintaining that, and also living, like just going out, doing stuff that you want to do, like have fun. Like I feel like, I mean, kind of like how you be in this tunnel vision mode of like doing. I'm like, take time and live and do something, that you want to do. I get you taking the steps to, go where you want to go, but like live a little bit.
I hear you.
Live a little bit.
I feel like people are always getting on me about it. But because I feel like I'm gonna have to be the one to lead my family, I feel like I have to lead my life right now. Like right now. We were just talking about whatever we do right now affects what happens for our life later. Yeah. I feel like I need to set those foundations and those steps now. And this is like, obviously, if someone wants to be my partner, I'm heterosexual, by the way, of course. But no, I'm just saying, it's 2023. Like, listen,
she gonna look at the camera.
I had to say that. But look, so it's like if a woman is gonna come to me, she's gonna want me to lead, right? Yes. I need to be doing that by myself, though. So I need to be doing that by myself. Yeah. And then that will gradually transform into something greater, where someone comes along with that. Mm-hmm. But I can't have that be when it starts, when I get a partner. It's like, all right, now I'm gonna start leading. It's like I was leading my own life and doing things I needed to be doing. Are you going to join and help me make something greater from that? Because I'm pretty sure that's what they want to walk into anyway. Yeah. So that's what I need to be setting up, which is funny because
it's a balance.
There's a balance, but I think it's what does that look like for me, I guess, because I haven't been going out as much, right? Mm-hmm. And this is one of the first times where I am okay with that. I'm okay with that because I have things coming into this year. I had 2 things that people can probably see if you follow me on Instagram or whatnot. Things that I've been focused on, right? Mm-hmm. They keep me day to day. I have something I need to do with this or both. So I'm on a intentional grind. Whereas like last year I didn't necessarily go into the year knowing some things I needed to do. Right. So it gives me a better vision of what I need to do on the day to day for at least that time frame. So to go back to what you were saying, I thought it was funny that you said once you hit $100,000, you don't really need anything else, right? The reason why I chuckled
around there.
Okay, around there. I chuckled at that because I always hear that is exactly where you get comfortable. And that's like the scariest place to be in because you'll feel like that. And you might even be right. But not saying I'm trying to live a lavish, crazy lifestyle. I'm not saying I need that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Are you?
No. Like, I don't need all that because I don't even go shopping as of right now, right? Now, of course, if I had more money, maybe I would. But I just know I want to set up whoever comes after me. I want to set them up very well, period. Because I feel like I can't depend on anyone else to do it. I have to do it.
So money won't set you up well.
Money won't set you up well?
No, assets do.
Right. Don't you have to have some money to get some assets?
Not necessarily.
Does it not help?
Yeah, it can help.
So
do you need millions?
You don't have to have millions.
That's my point.
You don't have to have
exactly. You don't have to. You want to. That's it. That's all it is. But if you want it, that's okay. Okay. But you don't need that.
I hear you. I'm listening. I think I'm listening. It's just that, of course, like you were saying, more money, more problems. But with that, more money, you can just afford more luxury. When I say luxury, I'm just saying having my own time back. That's what's really important to me, because working at a place you don't really love, it's like, no, if you have enough money, you can freely chase the things that you want to do. Because it seems like a lot of people that I've been seeing, let's say they start a YouTube channel or whatever, when they start to make that residual income, that money that's just coming in without them having to necessarily work for it, you can, at that point, live like you were saying. You don't have to go to work. Like when you need a job, you might not like the job, right? When you don't need it, I just saw something about this. When you don't need it, you're like, this job ain't bad because you don't need it.
Right.
It's like I come here because I want to. So I think having that financial security is extremely important because I feel like I haven't necessarily grown up around wealth, which is probably the circumstance for probably a lot of Black people, unfortunately, right? So it's like if I know that I have the ability and potential to change that for whoever comes after me, and I don't take advantage of that, what kind of person does that make me? If I knew I could and I wanted to.
A normal person.
Okay, I had a feeling he was gonna say that.
Just saying.
Okay, but was I put here to be normal?
Yeah, we all are. No matter what you do, you're normal, regardless. You bleed the same as I do, don't you?
Okay.
Do you not?
I do.
What makes you better as a person than another person because you make more money? Because at the end of the day, money is literally a piece of paper. Did you forget that? Somebody had to tell you that money meant something.
Right.
And you had to believe it. And you had to tell all of us that we believed it.
Oh, this is really about to get into what we was talking about. I hear, yes.
For sure.
It does.
It always does this.
It does, but,
yeah.
What can I do to negate that? There's nothing I can do to negate
Not chase excess. That's all you really can do. Not chase excess.
But I don't know, man. We just might have to once again
it's really
agree
just
to disagree.
Yeah,
because
it's an ideology thing.
I just know that I want to be able to provide myself a life where I can at that point do what I want or truly do what I was called to do because I know that the financials are set. That's good.
What
now I can do. Oh God, this ain't
it's
just
a
about
good thing.
me.
No,
This
it's
ain't
a
just
good.
about me.
Oh, come on! I'm just asking.
Nah, you good. All right. So what are they called to do? I feel like I was called to speak and connect. Whether that's speaking to people or let's say relaying a message poetically. Let's say it like that. But that's kind of what I think because those are two things that just come to me very naturally. Two things that I feel like have always been on my mind. Just always, no matter what I do, it's on my mind. So I feel like that's it. And I feel like again, if I set myself up financially to be secure, to where I don't have to worry, then I can truly lean into those things that I would need to do. Now maybe I just need to have more faith. If I'm gonna be accountable, right? Maybe I just need to have more faith and just do those things anyway, which could be very well the case. But I just know when you get to a certain point financially like that, then it opens a lot of things up for you. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
Can I make a closing statement too?
Closing statement. Go ahead.
Okay. So, really, the only thing that I want you to realize, and not just you, just speak on it in general, is that at the end of the day, the reality of that one thing is only 10% of us really end up being millionaires. I don't know if that number is the exact correct number, but it's around there.
Okay.
It's not a lot of people, and the majority of people, the main people that wish that certain thing are Black people, and there's a reason why we feel like that. And I want you to think about that and think about why you actually feel the reason and why the reason is that you actually want to do that. And then if you figure out the reason why you actually want to do it, maybe it can answer a lot of those questions. That's all.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah.
Talk your shit, Jace.
All right. So we're gonna move to this next question. Good debate. Not debate, but
no, it is debate. It's a beautiful
conversation.
thing.
Yeah.
I like debates. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
That's a good word.
So
The Great Debaters is a great movie. You ever seen that movie?
Oh, absolutely.
You ever seen that movie, The Great Debaters? What's that nigga name? Oh shit.
Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
So my next question is, what does the next year look like for you?
For me, probably, bro, the next year really looks like the same thing, just grinding, bro. I'm probably gonna have to be in grind mode for the next probably about 2 to 3 years.
Grind mode with what?
As in trying to build my money up, trying to figure out ways to invest and learn about investments and stuff like that. Trying to learn not crypto and crap like that, but actual real life investments that I know, not just popular stuff. You know, the stuff that has been tried and true. So I've been working on building relationships with older men that are financially capable and are financial advisors. So I've been talking to these people and trying to work my relationships up with them so that I can start asking these questions. And once I start asking these questions and figure out exactly how to do it, it's easy. And they've been telling me that it really don't take a lot of bread to get where you need to go. And they told me, I don't been told a couple of times by these same people, and these are people that my father has known. They've been in my family damn near for so long. They're not about to steer me wrong. You know what I mean? Okay. They told me it really can take. You can do it with anywhere from like 5 to 10 to 11 to 17, anywhere in that 5 to 20 range. You can start with that and make something with that. So I want to talk to them and figure that out. That's my really next goal, bro. Just trying to get more bread, bro.
Yeah, once you learn that stuff, we gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? You know, that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know I ain't square.
Definitely share that information over here too.
I know I ain't square. Everybody can make money for a fee. So no.
I gotta take a percentage.
No, I got y'all.
What about you? What does this next year look like for you?
For me,
in my back,
I just want
scoliosis.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
A job that I actually enjoy. Because this one that I'm at now, like, it's okay, and I feel like I'm comfortable. I'm not, really doing something that is a lateral step for in the direction that I want to move in. Yeah. So like, I want to do something around fashion, or retail in general. And what I do now is retail, but something, just a little bit more. And finding a job that I actually enjoy.
I feel that. That's probably a good amount of people around our age too. It's like,
yeah, we all still learning at the end of the day. So it's like we maneuvering.
It's just because like when you're growing up, you think by 23, 24. I'm starting to learn. As you get older, you're like, dang, y'all don't know what y'all doing. It's like,
oh my mama.
You really learn that
everybody's going through the motions.
Yeah, it's like I'm learning as I go. Because I remember when I was in college, I used to call people that were, I hate it, but when I was 18, I used to call people that were 24, 25, that would be around college. Still got my opinion on that a little bit, but it's like, I used to be like, bro, you're old. What are you doing here? Then I hit that age, I'm like, oh shoot, hold up.
Yeah.
I'm lost. Like, I'm confused. I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do. Yeah. So, that, I can agree with that. And I think a lot of people would. And then for me, what does the next year look like for me? I mean, growing the podcast, of course, continuing on this other artistic path, and just kind of, continuing to show up for these things that I'm interested in and just see where it goes. Because it's like, bro, you've always had these interests. Why not pursue them, at least to some extent? Like, I still got a job that is a job. It's a job. But it's like, if I can put time into the things that actually fulfill me, because that's why it's like when you talk about grind or whatever, these two other things are like a grind, but these are things that I'm doing for free. And I love to do them. Like, I love to do them. So I'm pretty sure if I stick with it long enough, I'll see some kind of result. So, or if I don't, at least I know, compared to I never do it, so I never know. At least I get an answer, which is, to me, is very important. So were there any other things that y'all were thinking about in the next year for y'all?
Getting a better job, goddammit.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, so we all in that range. All right, that's good. Okay, cool. So what do y'all plan? This is a good one. What do y'all plan to accomplish by the end of 2023?
Getting more involved in the community.
Ooh, explain that.
I mean, just like volunteering stuff.
I like that.
With your like what you was doing with your cousin.
Yeah.
I would want to do stuff. I feel like that's fun. Like, that's
something to enjoy.
I think I'll talk to you about it,
but I never really. It was like, oh, do that.
Yes, that's what it was.
Okay.
Getting more involved in the community. Finding hobbies that doesn't require getting paid. I found out that hobbies that I do, or like stuff that I do, like hair and nails, that's all for a monetary value. I don't have nothing,
I see what you're saying.
So
I want to get into hobbies that does not require me
playing a game or something like that.
Yeah, that doesn't require money to be exchanged.
But that's like high level shit though.
But I already do it though. Like, I'm talking about like skating or something. You don't get paid for skating. That's just something that you go and enjoy to do.
Yeah,
you can, but You understand? Painting. I mean, you could. Look, I ain't even gonna say that.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
Painting hard though.
Like just things that truly fulfill you. It's like I do this because I want to do it, not for money. Because it's like I think I get what you're saying. Because the other things that are for money, I'm guessing you're saying if it wasn't for money, you wouldn't do them really. Like maybe, but that's kind of
it's more of a it was more of a self-fulfilling thing. Like not like, oh, now I'm obligated to do this because somebody put in an order and now I gotta do it and then I gotta feel the process and time and it's like I just do it just because I want to.
This sounds random, but maybe get some coloring books and just color them.
That's not a bad idea.
No, seriously, it's like
that's not a bad idea.
From what I've heard, pretty sure it's like it's just a calming thing to do.
I used to color all the time. I was one of them ones that had coloring books.
It's a calming thing to do.
All the pictures on my wall.
You get to be artistic with it, and it's like how many people are gonna see it. You can do whatever you want, make it look as crazy as you want,
right?
Or make something that is typically looking a certain way, make it look completely different. And I heard it's like kind of empties your brain somewhat, or it just
calms you.
Yeah, it's like
meditate.
Like you don't have to think too hard about it. So that was a super random idea, but
that's a good idea. And my last one is balance. It's just keeping everything balanced mentally. Dealing with friendships, dealing with family, relationships. Just try to
word balance, boy.
Balance everything out.
Okay. All right, Jashua, what about you?
Trying to gain 15 pounds, cuz.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's it.
I should be able to help you with that.
Yeah, I should. We would have to start probably we live so far
away.
Meal
prep.
Oh yeah.
Getting in the gym.
I can help you get with all that. Yeah. All right, so gain 15 pounds.
That's it.
Oh, that's it?
I mean, by the end of the year. Most of the stuff that I have are more like long-term plans. Like, I gotta finish on my degree, and I gotta get the master's.
Yeah. Oh, you want to get your master's?
I have to. In order to do that 100,000 mark that I'm talking about, me and my mom planned it out pretty much.
Oh yeah.
I have to get a couple of licenses. I gotta get a couple of certifications once I do my master's, but I don't have to get my doctorate. That was the original plan that we had. So I was going to do all that, but now that we figured out some more stuff, we can figure out how I can get it to 100,000 without doing all that bullshit.
So what's your major?
Psychology.
Oh, okay.
That's why also it has to be master's too, because you really don't make bread from a psychology major.
Yeah.
You make your regular degree.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like a
long term.
Yeah.
Working on that.
For me, let me try to say like a quantifiable goal. I would like to get my podcast, at least on Instagram, get the followers for it by the end of the year.
That'd be cool.
Get it up to 1,000.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty lofty. Like I'm at like 230.
That's
1,000.
doable.
1,000 is like lofty, but that's something I'm like. It's a challenge. So let's see what we can do to get there. So there's that. Staying consistent with writing. I'm kind of putting myself through an exercise right now, and it's hard, but I'm still like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because there'll be times where I'm like, oh, I can't do this, but something will spew out after that. I'm like, oh shoot. And I think I saw J. Cole say it. He was like, your brain is a muscle. Well, obviously your brain's a muscle, but there's like a creativity muscle where it's like you kind of have to keep tapping into it for it to really start to show up just easily. It's like, all right, you tap into this so much that when you are trying to require yourself to create something, it kind of comes out easier now because you've already been exercising it like that. Yeah. So just staying consistent like that. And then I gained weight and I lost it. So I plan to gain it back. Yeah. But because I had gained, 30 pounds, I feel like I know how to gain weight pretty easy now. Like once I am in that mode, I know how to gain that back. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So yeah, those are two of my goals to finish up by the end of the year. And I'm gonna throw that student debt one back in there. If Biden gives us that, because like if he gives us that,
you can get it gone. You can get it gone.
If he gives us that relief, it'll be paid.
No. Yeah,
it'll be paid off this year.
Yeah.
This year, and I'll be.
That's why I'm like, cause mine was not a lot. It's like now it's under 10,000. So
yeah, you're doing a good job. I don't know too many people that are actively paying on it. I'm like that.
Cause they keep bugging
Yeah, like when you told me that you were actively paying on it, I was like, that's adult. That's some adult stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know people that are like,
right, especially right out of college. Like, ain't nobody paying on that right out.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna pay it when I pay it. I'm like, no. I mean, I ain't been paying on it.
But that's not a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. That's how some people are moving.
Fuck your credit up.
That too.
I'm sorry. I keep on cussing.
You good, bro?
I feel like for the most part we've been good, so it's not like a.
They both.
After everything.
What can I say?
I'm just saying, it's gonna get bleeped up. That's all.
I'm just trying to make it to where it's not the beep 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 beep.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't beep. I don't do it like that.
It just mute.
Yeah. Tell me my little. It's like nah. I don't do the bleep. I don't do the bleeping. Like that's
everybody. I just want to let y'all know Jariah mute his shit.
Of course. I mean, yeah. If you an editor, I edit my stuff. So yeah. Anyway. But yeah, we all. I think it's just cool. Like when we hear that we all kind of on the same page. I might say something, y'all like, yeah, that too, or you say something, we like, yeah, like you know what I mean. It's like that's very. I just think it shows that we're kind of in sync, and it also shows like y'all are my friends for real. Like we really
and we are
on
the same page. Like you think, like you look at social media and what you see on people, they make it look like they further ahead. But the whole time when you have a conversation with them, it's like you right where me, you right where I'm at.
I was just talking about that yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Nah, that's like
it's humanizing. It's like, oh, okay. I'm human.
I'm going through it.
Yeah,
you're going through it too.
We are going through it.
Okay.
I'm not alone.
Right. All right. So my next question is, so you say you got to finish your degree still?
Yeah, man.
But cause my next question was, how have y'all felt since y'all graduated from college? Let's say how have we felt? Well, how have we felt since we've been away from it? That's a. Like, what have you learned since how have you felt about life? You see things different since you've been away from it. Like, go ahead. Okay,
I'll go. So, like, bro, I'm not gonna speak about when I first got there too much, but I'm gonna just keep it brief. When I first got there, I was culture shocked. But yet, when I left, I was even more culture shocked. The way that the college scene works, it's so different from reality. You know what I mean? Let alone if you go to HBCU. That's a whole different thing. Now, I won't even get into that. But if you're going to a regular college, bro, it's not the same way that the real world works. Women don't act the same there. Dudes don't act the same there. Fraternities are way different than you would think they do inside of college than they do outside of college. You know what I mean? It's all type of different stuff that you experience. And y'all have heard the horror stories, you know? My apartment flooded when I was in college, you know? I had to leave my college because my apartment flooded, and it was too much going on. They had the teachers went on strike. It was all type of crap. Yeah, man. So I left school, you know, mind blasted, really, and not to mention I was in Dayton. You know, Cincinnati and Dayton they're not friends. Yeah. They're not, man. So you know what I'm trying to say about that. You know, it wasn't good. Right. And so when I came back, I honestly came back jaded. You know, I used to smile a lot. I remember myself just thinking about how I used to be. I used to smile a lot more. I used to be happy a lot more. I don't even see the same sparkle in my eyes anymore because of all the stuff that I've been through. Just through college alone, you know. That's just how it is sometimes, though, you know. So I say my sparkle went away, bro. Real life. No more sunshines and rainbows in the world, bro. I don't see it that way no more, you know. I used to look at my dad, man, and I used to hate it. This man never smiled. I was a kid thinking like that. He never smiled. I don't know why he's not smiling. Why does he never talk? Why does he never do that? And then I experienced what he would mention very lightly. He would very lightly mention these little things here and there throughout my life. I was doing through the gangsters, Jashua. I was going through this, Jashua. I was doing this, Jashua. And these certain little things that he would say and never really explain it. I would go through these same exact things. And when I went through them, I started being the same way he was. I realized that I needed to shut the hell up when I was a kid because I was putting too much on me, you know. So that messed me up a lot too because I realized, dang, as much as I'm thinking my pops bullying me, because you know everybody can have that issue with their parent. They might have an issue with a parent. They feel like they're bullied. That was me. I realized, dang, I might have been bullying him just as much as he was doing to me.
Damn.
So am I wrong? was I being wrong to him the whole time? Like, and so that was a whole nother thing that I was dealing with. Like, bro, I don't know, just being an adult and having the adult mind now is so crazy to me because it's. Let me tell you something about it. It's I always say this: real nigga goggles. When you got real nigga goggles, it's only it's two things, bro. You can never take them off, and you can't never force nobody to put them on. You can't force nobody to put them on. So you'll be thinking this stuff, and you'll see things that happen in your life, and you can never let it go. But can't nobody else ever understand it.
Yeah.
Nobody else can understand it unless they experienced it themselves. So you feel like you're over here, and everybody else is over there. That's how you feel. So it makes you go like this.
Right.
That's how I feel.
That was very, very well said.
Thank you.
Okay. That was a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Malena, what was my question? Like, that was...
Sorry.
Oh, shoot. All right. So, the question was...
What can I say?
Right. How have you felt since you have been away from college?
This shit ghetto.
College or life?
She's talking about being an adult.
Yeah, ghetto as hell. Like.
So do you feel like you wish you maybe had more fun in college or something, or like you just like relaxed?
Did I?
No, I'm saying,
I had an amazing time in college.
I'm saying since we graduated from college, how do you feel about life now, I guess, compared to when you were in college? Because you said it's ghetto. So I'm like, what about it?
I mean, because now you just dealing with the real world. Like, high school, it's like high school, elementary or whatever, it's that structure. Okay, then I went to college right after high school. There's still structure, but you have a little bit more responsibility and a little bit more freedom. But now it's like you in the real world, it's like, all right, job, you got to keep up with everything. Anything that you're doing, it's like you just have to keep up with everything. And you actually have to put your foot forward to go out and do stuff. Like, you just sitting there. It's like you got to put yourself out there.
This is not something that you do? Is that what you're saying? Like in college, it was like, since we were like in college, everybody's there. So it's like, if I want to go meet somebody, all I need to do is probably go get some food and I'll run into people.
Right. That turned into an adventure in itself.
Or you got all your friends that live there and they'll be like, hey, come do this with me. You just meet people like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it.
That sounds valid. I would say, how do I can kind of agree.
I guess you could say it's like a culture shock, like how you were saying, because it's like it's way different from. So now you gotta, like I said, you gotta put your foot. You gotta put yourself out there to meet new people, make new friends, do stuff.
Yeah, I agree. So I think naturally who I am as a person, I don't mind that. But like when I lived in Columbus, there were times where I had to do it and I had to like be by myself. Yeah. It's like, let's say I'm with one of y'all and we going out somewhere and it's like it's us, but we don't know nobody else where we going. It's like, all right, well, it's like I can hype you up, you can hype me up. We got each other, right? I still got you. Whereas you by yourself, it's like, dang, if I go look stupid, I ain't got nobody to come back to that help me calm down. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's exhilarating in a bad way. And there have been times where it's exhilarating in a good way. There have been times I go places, make friends on my own. And I'm like, okay, like my confidence and my courageousness, like, gave me points for that. It's like, all right, you did that. Like, cool. Then there are other times where I'm thinking, dang, I'm out here by myself. I'm ready to go. Like, I need to leave. I should have came here by myself. So I can see that. I would say, I kind of feel like since I graduated from college, as hard as I worked in college, I could have maybe, I feel like as hard as I worked in college, I still could have set myself up better coming out. Because, like, I used to always think, I'm going to go to college and of course I'm going to have a job set ready when I graduate. Came out, I had to go find them things. Like I think I had an offer from this one place, but it was not doing anything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then it's almost funny how kind of where I work now is, I think somewhere around the offer I was getting from when I first came out. So I'm thinking, dang, well, if I would have came out, I think one of my first offers to work with somewhere was for like a bank or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to be in TV, be in radio, all that stuff. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Offer that
I think it was one of the places that was like, what was it? I think it was a place that was seeking me out, and I was like, oh shoot, if I actually probably go forward with this, that might land me a job. I just didn't want to take it, so I think I either didn't respond or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, who can I blame for that? Me? Like, I can't blame nobody for that but myself. So when I look back on those things, it's like I could have, out of all the resources that I knew of and I was using, I still could have probably been a little better about how I use them and my efficiency with it.
I feel
it's like, all right, I could use this resource to do this or do that or do this. Because I know so many people, I have so many professors that I know at Kent State, right? And I didn't use them right. I just know that. I didn't use them correctly.
Same with the fashion school.
Like, or maybe I either didn't use them right or maybe I didn't feel like I had the backing as far as what I'm interested in to say, hey, I've done this. Can you help me get a job with this? I think those are things that I'm like, I probably held myself back in that instance. So.
I feel that.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that's your fault. You gotta understand who really told us what to do after you got there. Isn't what every black person say, go to college.
Right.
What do you do after that? Nobody says anything. They say
Fair.
get a job.
Fair. Okay.
You don't know what to do, so it's not your fault. How could you know to take your reins if nobody gave you the reins to take in the first place?
This man Jashua, bro. I hear you. I'm listening.
But you need a friend like this.
Yeah, see, and I understand that too. I think because I feel like I know myself that I just wouldn't do better or be smart. It's like, like people that, many of the people that came before you, at least in my family, did not go this route. So of course, who are you gonna take the reins from? But I still feel like I could have maybe asked better questions or tried to connect and network better.
I see what you're saying, because it's like they put, opportunities in your face, or like they sometimes, they give you opportunities or whatever to take, and it's like it's upon you to either take that or not, and it kind of falls on you, because it's like, well, like you said, I should have did this or asked questions, or I should have met up with this teacher, or whatever. So I get that, and I get what you're saying too.
And that's part of being an adult, period. Like, there's going to be some sense of urgency within yourself that you need to have, but at the same time, you can have urgency but not know where to put it. So it's like, it's just one of those weird things where I'm thinking, I could have came out a little better. Like, looking back, I could have came out and been like, all right, I'm going to do this. I don't want to do it, but I'll do this. Because I've been learning, sometimes you got to do things you got to do.
I feel like we go to college too early.
I'm not mad at that take. I'm not mad at that take at all. Like, people that take a gap year, I respect it a whole lot more.
I think we should go to college a little bit older, just a tad bit. I don't think, let's think about it. We're in puberty still, me and you. You're almost done, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it is for female.
I think like 22, 23 is like when it stopped.
But we got till 25. We're not even fully developed yet. That's crazy. And you expect us to do all this crap, and you got to think we're dudes too, so it's already more expected on us from a monetary standpoint and all them other standpoints at that. Do you really think that the mind that you had, you would have been able to do what you did, and yet you still did it?
I'm not mad. So I understand that, but then it's like, I feel like most people don't know of any alternatives to that, because if they graduate high school and then they don't go to college, they will go right back to where they were usually and do the same things that they were doing. Let's say it was nothing productive. They'll go right back to being unproductive. Whereas in college, you at least feel like you get that culture shock. I feel like almost anytime you go to college, period, whether it's in your city, outside of your city, you don't know what college is like. So you're gonna experience some culture shock, and that will automatically kind of grow you as a person. But it's
it can.
Yeah, it can.
It depends on your reaction to it.
Right? And I think that is kind of where
people differ.
People differ, but it still falls on you as far as like what you want to do, because if people don't go to college, like I said, and it's like you wouldn't know what to do then. I feel like people do try to go there to figure out what they need to do, but I still understand and respect when people don't go immediately, because you're taking that time to really figure out. It's like, oh, I like this. Okay, now I can see where I actually want to go, whether maybe you can afford it or not. But you might be you'll be a lot more intentional about what you want to do.
For sure.
I'm not bad at that take. All right, let me see. We got some good. We got to talk about some good stuff for sure. All right, what is inspiring y'all the most right now? Like what? It can be something that you're doing, something that someone else is doing. I think for me, like, I'm trying to do my best of showing up, period. Like, whatever I'm doing, stick with it. Just stick with it. Because, when you're not motivated, just stay consistent. I saw Jim Jones say that. But it's like a thing. When you don't even feel like doing it, because I know that's happened for me at the gym. Let's say it's times I don't want to go. It's times where it's like, I know I don't want to go, but I'm already on the way because I've been doing it. Like that, when that was happening, I'm like, whoa, this is a mentality and a lifestyle. When you don't want to go, but you're already going, it's like your body is like, I know you don't want to go, but guess what? Feet already moving. We already going.
Right.
So that's kind of something that's inspiring me or, motivating me to keep doing whatever it is I'm doing. But what about y'all? It can be something, abstract or it can be art.
Well, for me, I would have to say the people that are in my life right now, like the friends that I have around that are close, and family that, are just going back to like people that value me and like fill me up when, speak highly of me when I don't feel highly of myself. I feel like that's definitely like, I have a couple people in my life that like, pick me up.
Yeah. I love that. I was just looking at our Instagram memories. I don't know what I was doing, but I thought it was funny because one of the biggest compliments to me that you given me that I try to do, period, for my friends, you was like, I say your name in rooms you're not in. That's something That's something I really do for my friends though. It's like
you do.
I'm like, bro, I'm about to plug, cause I'm about to plug you the same way I hope you plugging me. It's like, oh, you need this? Oh yeah, here's your right here.
Y'all, when I was doing hair in college, everybody would be like, oh yeah, Jariah told me. Oh yeah, Jariah told me. Okay, you better give me some clients. Give me some money.
Yeah. I was like, hey, if I can help my people out, why not? Why not do that?
And I definitely do the same with you too. Like,
a
couple people around the city, I'm like, oh yeah, my friend got a podcast.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Sure.
Jashua, what about you though? What's like inspiring you right now in life?
Only inspiration really I have right now is to make music that makes me feel more comfortable to think about things I think in my head. That's all I really care about.
Okay.
That's a good one though. That's a good one.
So you feel inspired to make the music that makes you feel more comfortable about what goes on in your head.
Yeah, and not just in my head, just through day-to-day life too as well, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's about it right now, really, bro. I've been kind of missing out on motivation for a while now, so I'm working on getting that back right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. We definitely gonna talk after this. Me and you gonna talk after this.
Hey man, you gotta ask about me.
Alright. Okay, so we did talk, we touched on this. Okay. I feel like I already know where it's about to go. Is money as important as it seems?
I know Jashua got this.
Fuck no.
No, it's not.
It's a piece of paper, bro.
It's sad because it is, because of how, one word, capitalism, and everything you do has a dollar hanging in your face.
Man, I got me feeling like I'm just a...
You are. What you're thinking is you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way that the world works.
If that's the state that you in right now, your mindset can always change.
Yeah, I'm just like...
Let me be real with you, cuz. You have to be like that in order to get it.
That's right.
You have to.
And I understand.
So if you want it, you have to be like that. So there's nothing wrong with you being like that if that's what you want to be. But you can't tip your foot in and say, "Oh, that's bad." You gotta take it for what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. That's how you is, and that's.
If that's how you wanna You feel me? Live your life. Can't nobody tell you what you can and can't do.
I'm not about to judge you, nigga. I don't think you a bad person for that. Who cares? We can go get a drink, bro. Fuck all that. Let's go smoke a cigar. What you mean? You can get some Cubans, bro. 2,000. What you talking about?
It's just, is money as important as it seems?
It's not.
It shouldn't be. We were supposed to be here naked, eating fruit, trees, nature, blossoming.
The question is, why is it so important to you? That's the question.
Why is it? Wow, I feel like it's like my intervention or something like that. Listen.
That's because it's hot.
Listen.
You know your friend, the contrarian. You know he gonna try you.
So, I know money doesn't buy happiness because people that are very successful, plenty rich, are not happy.
Not happy, killing themselves.
Yep.
Right.
Sure enough.
I just know it makes a difference. And it's like,
what difference?
Because there are certain opportunities that you may have and certain security that you just have. Okay, go ahead, expand on that.
Why is it? You do realize the more money, there's a reason why people like Bill Gates dress like bums. Because if you look like you have money, people want to take it from you.
Right.
There's a reason why it doesn't get safer as you get more money. It gets worse. Honestly, if you really think about it, you're more likely to lose a lot more money when you make more. That's why people try to get out of taxes and shit like that. You lose hella when you make bread. That's why people that make bread, they put it into other places because you can't actually have that money sitting there because it'll get gone. And you gotta think, money also rots. You can't keep it in banks. Money rots. It spoils. It dies because money is made of an organic material. You know what I mean? So there's no way to really keep it.
So, bruh, like I keep saying, I just know that you can have certain access to things that you haven't had before, and it's like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm not here to bring my children into the same
situation as you.
Yeah, I'm not saying I've had a terrible life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's like if I know that what comes after me can be improved upon based off my actions, why not do something about that?
Okay, I got a question for you. Do you think your kids will be happy with you having to live the life that you have to live to make that type of money?
They'll be grateful. Yeah.
No, they won't.
Wow.
Have you ever met any? Have you met any rich kids? Have you ever met any rich kids that parents are never around that are happy for that?
Okay.
It's a yes or no.
Do I know?
Do you know any of them? Yeah. Do you know any rich kids that are happy that their parents aren't around? Do you know any kids that are happy that their parents aren't around?
I don't know any does not mean they don't exist.
Okay, I'll ask you another question. Do you know any kids that are happy that their parents aren't around?
Oh wait. So when you bring it down to that level, no.
Right.
Like no.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's the same. But that's essentially the same thing.
Right.
So okay, no. This is why I say it like this. This is why I would do it now. Like I would build that foundation now.
Oh, now. So then later on down the line,
I would build that foundation now. That way I can be the father I want to be. Because it's like, all right, I am present because I grinded. Like I make sure I was grinding before you got here. Because it's like if I make it happen before you get here, yes, you get to basically experience the fruits of my labor. But I also knew that you are my if I'm thinking about my children before they even get here, I knew he was gonna be my child, right? So it's like I was thinking about you before you got here. So you didn't ask to be here. So don't I need to make sure that I'm making sure you're good before you even get here? That's just, to me, that's responsible. That's just being responsible. Like I can learn from my father that like he had children before he felt like he was ready, right? Now they say you're never ready. You never know when you're ready.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I'd be more ready for a child
if you're monitoring.
I'm pretty sure I'd be more ready for a child if I have a great and substantial amount of money compared to pennies. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you'll be like, all right, at least I know I can take care of this child. When some people are about to have a child, they have no idea what they're about to do, if they're gonna keep it or whatever. I don't want to put myself in that position. If I can, because the life that you live is your fault essentially, whether you're rich or not.
For sure.
It's like you have to, like you can't just absolve yourself of any decisions. It's like you are gonna have to make some decisions. So what decisions are you making? So you gotta, take responsibility for that. and I take full responsibility for that because I know what I want to do. So if it doesn't happen or not, that's based on me because I feel like I've seen enough people and how their decisions have basically worked out for them or not. And I'm like, all right, I shouldn't do that. Let me do this. So that way, when I want to make this happen, I'm in a much better spot than some people compared to that. You know what I mean? Now you can make it out of any situation. It's really about your work ethic, what you got going for yourself up here, and what you actually plan to do about it. But some people, whatever situation they are, whether they rich or not, they're like, I can't make this happen. It's like, how's that gonna even help you out though? Like you have to have that urgency and that action to put something forward to make something happen. So that's just why financially, I just know I want to be certain point. I'm not trying to say it's like I'm poor or nothing, but I just know like I want kids, right? More than one. Let's just put it like that, right? Shouldn't I make sure I'm ready for that before I get that?
How much money do you was
That's
like
what I'm
comfortable?
Thinking. Like at what point does it stop?
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, good question. That's a great question. Okay, at what point does it stop?
It can't, because you're gonna have to maintain that same lifestyle. So you're never gonna be around. You can't be around. You have to maintain that, because if you're gonna get a big house because you have a lot of kids, you're gonna have to maintain that big house because you have a lot of kids. Let me tell you something, bro. People that make money just sitting on their butt, usually it's not. First of all, it's not common. It's even less common than millionaires, for real. The ones that actually do businesses, and the ones that do businesses work 80+ hours a week. You're not gonna be home, cuz you gotta actually. All right, think about this. Have you actually researched the people that are millionaires and what their lifestyle entails?
No, I haven't.
So, wait, let me finish. Because you haven't done that, you don't even know how they have to live to keep that going. So you don't even know if you can do that, yet you want it.
Okay. Good points. I'm hearing you there for sure. I'm not negating what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you. I just feel like, yes, they have to work that hard, but let's say they want to maybe take a break or something like that. No, well, also, again, that's based off your decision. Hold up. That's based off your decisions as well. Because just because you're making more money, like, okay, of course, at a certain point, you're going to have to spend more money. But just because you're making $11 million, I mean, you got to spend $10 million. You know what I mean? You don't have to spend what you're making. That's an error, first off. That's a mistake that you're already making if that's how people live. But you can still be able to put yourself in a position to where you can maybe ease back if you want to. At that point, you have that choice. That's what I'm saying. If you're being smart, you will put yourself in a position to where you have choices. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say at the root of what I've been saying this whole time. If I can at least put myself in a position to where I have choices and it's like I have to do this, that's a totally different life. Because it's like, if you do it, okay, cool. If you don't, cool. But either way, it's your choice compared to, if I don't do this, my child will not be provided for. That's a scary place. I'm not in that space. I don't want to be in that space though. So it's like, I need to do something about it beforehand.
Since we're thinking hypotheticals, what if you lose it all? What if you wait, let me finish. Okay. What if you ease up and then you lose it? Then you're back to square one. And all that work that you just did meant nothing. So all that shit that you just chased, all that shit means nothing. So what are you going to do then? Are you going to be depressed and feel like you didn't accomplish anything? Or are you going to be okay with yourself because you're a person, and then you realize that excess is just a happenstance of luck? It has nothing to do with people wanting it. The people that actually want to be millionaires usually never make it. The people that don't really care about that type of stuff and it ends up getting there are the ones that get it. Because they're actually focused on their craft and not focused on what comes behind it.
So again, I don't want. So I'm hearing you again. I don't want us to just
of course.
But
I'll be quiet after this.
No, you're good. You're good. I just think that's one of those things that you can try to prepare for it before it gets here, but that's exactly. Most people don't want that to happen, but you have to deal at that point. And even still, if you're at a certain point, you have a certain network, right? They'll put you in positions to make things happen.
So what you're saying is you can't prepare for nothing. You
can prepare for a lot of things. Some things you can't prepare for. Right. So let's leave that there. Yeah. We're gonna move on.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. All right. So I got like 3 questions left. All right.
Cool.
What is the greatest lesson you've learned in the past year? for me, of course, going back to Columbus, I feel like Columbus was a year of mental transformation. I would say that can't get mad at the results I don't get from the work I don't do. That was like my biggest thing, because there was a lot of results I didn't get, and it's like, well, who's gonna do that for you? Nobody. So you need to do it. So if you're not doing it, you won't get it. It's as simple as that. That was the thing that I learned.
I would say the biggest things, everyone is on a different path, and the path that you're on, like, you're right where you need to be. Because if you were supposed to be in this position, you would be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
What is the greatest lesson you've learned in the past year?
To keep reminding myself that my shit stink.
Explain that.
What you mean?
I need you to explain it further. Because some people might not understand what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like, sometimes I have to constantly remind myself that, first of all, I'm not better than no nigga, regardless of what the fuck. No, but you gotta understand that sometimes you can really get caught up in that. You know what I mean? Let's just say that you really handling your business at that point in time in your life, and you really about it. Some niggas can get like that, and I know that I have gotten like that in my life before, from when I've been up. You know, when I've been up, I've gotten like that, and when I've been down, I would keep the same mentality and didn't get me nowhere. So what I'm trying to do now, I think I'm doing pretty good at it now, is to just keep reminding myself that I'm not no better than nobody else. You know what I mean? I'm not just because I feel like I'm that nigga when I complete something good or anything like that. That doesn't mean I'm that nigga over anybody else. You see what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that necessarily. Or maybe the perspective I'm thinking, it's like, I'm that dude, but I'm that dude in my life.
Be
right.
humble,
you know what I mean?
Be humble and talk your shit at the same time.
Yeah. I'm the main character of my story, and that's okay, but y'all all got y'all own story, and I accept that. I come in peace type shit.
Okay. I like that. All right. This should be an easy one to answer, hopefully. Do you feel like you've grown from high school?
If you having something wrong, go get checked out.
That's what I'm saying.
Real life.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's a lot of people that probably have not grown.
Not real life.
Something wrong.
But some of them is sheep and bots though, so you can't really do nothing about that. Some people meant to be just sheep and bots. I'm trying to tell you, everybody ain't meant to grow, bro.
Everyone has a role. Everyone has a role in this life, and everyone is not gonna be, because everybody everybody want to be millionaires and stuff, but it's like, you gotta realize, bro, that's not gonna happen. Or everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Everybody is not meant to have a business.
Bro, thank you.
It's so like everybody has a role. Like, looking at it, like, dang, why these people, you be work at Target so long, or these people worked at this job for so long. I be trying to think, it's like, if you was fine with that, that's the role that you was supposed to play, essentially,
in
this lifetime. Because everybody is not supposed to be rich. Everybody not supposed to be poor.
And that's why I say remind yourself.
No.
Sorry.
What was you gonna say? Nah, say it.
And that's why you always remind yourself that your shit stink. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's okay monotony is okay. It's okay to be boring. It's okay to have a boring, normal ass life. And when you keep yourself going thinking that it's not gonna be like that, you're gonna fuck your head up. Because it's more than likely it's not gonna happen. Not saying that I don't want it to happen for anybody.
Don't get your hopes up.
You know what I mean? And I'm speaking to you on that. I don't want you to think that I don't want that to happen for you. Yeah. If that's what you want, then you get that motherfucking shit. You feel me? But I don't want you to get broken if that shit don't happen because you've been chasing it for so long.
Okay. There it is.
That's why I want you to live a little bit. Be happy.
Nah, and appreciate that from both of y'all. I think it's
that's why we're his closest friends.
Nah.
She had to put that one in there. She made sure, marking that territory. Then her dog pissing.
Nah, look. So I think it's.
call me Panini.
No, I think it's just like, at least if you, and I can see how it would be hard to maybe not get broken by it, but at least if you go for it, you have your answer. You know what I mean? Compared to, you never know. at least
true.
If you try for something and you don't get it, that's when you gonna have to charge it again.
Like it's like,
all right, look, son, I tried, I did. Like, no, seriously, like the life I said I wanted.
Your son gonna laugh at you. He gonna think you so funny.
Like, just like whoever.
No, he's gonna respect you, but he gonna think that's funny when you say that. I'm
not
gonna lie.
No, because it's just like I just feel like I've been learning that your decisions mean so much, and whether you try or not is a decision. That's a decision. So if you go for something and you don't get it, you made the decision to try.
Yeah.
But just because it doesn't happen, it's like you still made the decision to go for it. Now, if you don't even make that decision to go for it, what chance do you expect to have of actually attaining that? Right. You have to start. It starts with you, your decision, your action that you put in after that, and then where does that take you after that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, "No, I'm not gonna even try," okay, well, you won't get it. Don't be mad about it. That's why I was saying I can't be mad at the work I don't do. From the work I don't, I can't be mad at the results I don't get from the work I don't do, because that starts with me. That starts with my choices. The results I get, I have to first make a choice, and that it'll make it easier on learning which result I'm gonna get. If I don't even try, well, the result, pretty sure you won't get it, 1,000%, right? But if I try, okay, you might not have the highest percentage of getting it, but there's a chance. That small chance might be the chance that's worth it. So that's where it starts.
I hope that's how you feel when the time ever comes like that.
Oh yeah, and that's where it's like that's something you have to be prepared for. Like you have to, at least if you know
when that crossroad.
Yeah, you just gotta be smart about all the outcomes. Like, there's a chance that this may happen, there's a chance that may happen. You just gotta be content with both of those things. Like, all right, well, if it don't, then how you gonna handle that? But if it do, how you gonna handle that?
Right. And my last question is, how has your view of life changed since you've become an adult? I would say for me, I think I respect and I see my parents completely different. I'm like, stuff that y'all, okay, like I don't even have a kid. Like how you said earlier, ghetto, right? Close thing y'all got to kids are animals, but those are not a full blown like human.
It's different.
That's a different ballpark. It's a different thing. And I'm like, wow, you had me at this age, dealing with this and me. Nah. I'm like, I see that a lot different. I feel like my respect for them is a lot different, and my appreciation is very different because now that I'm an adult, I'm living. It's like you were an adult with a child or 2 or 3. It's like you got it, and I'm thankful that you did what you did for me. Because I'm pretty sure you were thinking about me and my future, of course, before I got here. So it's like, or of course, right when I got here, it's like, all right, I need to make sure this boy is good.
Right.
Yeah. So that way he can be set up better. Because if I could have brought him into a better situation, I would have. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know that's something they think about. That's why I don't even have to talk about it to them. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you thought about it. That's why I'm always thinking about it. Because I don't want you to think that your efforts went to waste on me. I'm here to improve upon that. Yeah. Y'all go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you can go, Jashua.
Well, I already said that like my twinkle kind of went away. When you're a kid, you feel like you see the world a little bit more bright.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way no more, man. It's just on a day-to-day basis. It literally doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I was a kid, I almost feel like I saw colors more vividly. I almost felt like that. You know what I mean?
You've seen the beauty in things.
My imagination was more vivid, And now that I'm an adult, it's times where I wake up and I just feel humdrum. My back's starting to hurt and shit. You know what I mean? And I have a disorder. Well, not technically a disorder, but you know what I mean. I have scoliosis. I was born with it, so I always knew that I was gonna have to deal with pain as a kid. As a kid, I was always in pain, but now it's getting worse and worse, and I'm starting to think about that too. Like, damn, how is this gonna affect me 10, 20, 30 years from now? You know what I mean? My shit's already so bad. I'm supposed to be down in your height. My growth plates are broken. My knees from sports. Like, I was supposed to be your height, dude. Look at my arms.
Yeah, his arms are.
My shit is crazy.
His arms are low.
Right.
I think his arms
are almost longer than yours.
I think they are longer, but
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we stood next to each other and we did it. I was like,
my shit crazy. Like my scoliosis is then like 2 points away from being severe. So I'm worried about that for real. And you know that kind of and being in pain, bro. That kind of made me angry sometimes when I wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? I be irritated and shit. I be having to smoke and all. You know me. I don't even like. I actually don't like doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I can't get out the bed, bro. Like I real life can't get out the bed. Like she don't really been crying because I'll come home from work and I can't move. It hurts so bad. Like I have to just sit in the bed all day. You know what I mean? And I had to do that to order to get my back pain to not feel like that. Yeah. And not only that, you know, but I think another big thing for me with being an adult that changed is that was really hard for my parents to deal with. You know, I grew up in a church home. Both of my parents are pastors. And so being that both of them are like that, it was real strong with them. And, you know, being that I'm me, and y'all know me a lot more than they do. I'm me as much as I am, you know what I mean? And you gonna get what you get. I found that makes you almost a pariah. It makes you almost like a black sheep. And I had to accept that, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that I think I'm accepting right now. I'm in the process of accepting that me being who I am is gonna be the conflict that, you know, is gonna drive a wedge, and it already is, you know what I mean? So accepting that.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
I hear you though. Thank you for sharing that, of course, again.
Oh yeah.
And then Malena, we gonna finish off with you.
Go ahead.
Well, I think Jashua kind of said my answer was, you know,
sorry.
You good. I'm just starting to look at everything differently. Like, you know, when you a child, you know, stay in a child's place. You get older, you start seeing different family members for who they are, really. You know, just when you younger, like Jashua was saying, like everything just seems more vibrant. Like you see the beauty in things that you probably don't now. Like, you know, when you was little, you know, you play with bugs or whatever. You be outside just looking at you be content with life. You just be sitting in the grass, looking up at the sky. It's like now that spark is gone for real, just because, you know, you start you start seeing the world for what it really is, especially looking at religion. You feel me, if you grew up like that, and then you start growing into your own individual self, and you start thinking like, well, maybe you start questioning things. So with that, just any aspect of life, well, just any aspect of life is different, especially with you coming into your adult self. Your mind changes, and I was about to say something else, but I completely forgot it. Especially being a black woman and man, you kind of change. I feel like, especially for us, well, now because social media is so prominent. Now we're seeing stuff, kids, because we grew up on that cusp of like knowing technology. So it was a point in time where we didn't know anything about that. But now it's kids that's like 4 or 5 knowing the shit that go on now. And it's like,
and who knows what they see.
Because everything is posted online, so it's like.
Plus, we had to like grow into these touchscreen phones with no buttons on them. Right. Like we all have had a phone where there were buttons on it, whereas, as of this point, there are still phones like that, but most people have phones probably with no buttons on the screen.
So it's just like transitioning from that to like how we are now. Like I said, especially being a black, brown woman or man.
For sure.
It's way different.
Wow. Well, we got deep. We got into some stuff on this episode. I'm glad that we were able to do this. I knew that both of y'all were going to provide perspective. And I was already very sure that because I'm close with both of y'all, it's like, this conversation. Like, I knew me and you.
I knew Jashua. Since we started hanging out a little bit, I'm like, Jashua, I already know.
Like, he's not trying to test me, but like when we talk, I'll be like, this is my dog, but we don't agree.
No,
like,
no.
And I'd be cool with that.
Yeah,
like,
it's okay.
I actually love that sometimes. It's like,
and that's the beauty in it. Y'all can agree or disagree and still be so close. Cause some people be like, man, nigga, fuck you.
Yeah, like I feel like me and you, we typically agree on stuff. We agree on a lot of the same things, and then we do too. But I actually get excited when we don't. I'm like, I'm about to learn something about you right here. Like, because our friendship will continue to evolve. It's like, okay, yeah, you think this way, you're still my friend. Like, yeah, but I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, being funny.
Yeah.
But I start to learn certain things about how you think. And I'm thinking, okay, we just don't agree. But we at least hear our points and respect it. But, yeah, I love y'all, of course. Appreciate y'all. And are there any last words that y'all want to say to the people of the Highlight Reel community?
Do they know how we know you?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't say that part.
Should have been said that.
I didn't say that part. We met in college, which is hilarious.
Yeah, because we from the same city and never knew each other since we had
nothing.
It's like, how do
we know a lot of the same people?
Yeah.
We know a lot of the same people, but didn't know each other. And then me and Jashua went to high school. We went to the same high school.
Shouts out to Wanda Hills, man.
Yeah, I thought he was cool when I first met him. He was real cool. Don't do that. He was real cool. And we met sophomore year. We was like cool, but we kind of saw each other more in passing.
Yeah.
Junior year we had a class. Me and him had a class together.
Man.
Me, him, and this other dude, I won't say we hated the class, but we was like, we didn't get to have our junior lunch because of that. And I think that was why we didn't like it. Other than that, it was fine. And then senior year, I think toward the end of junior year, I was like, yeah, that's my dog. Senior year, we was locked in. We almost fought other people, almost fought each other. Like
Nerf wars.
Yeah, well, the reason we ain't gonna get into it, but when we almost fought each other because
it was over our bed.
And it was over. He wanted to. It was something that was going on, and he was very angry. And he was very angry. I was like, so what you're not gonna do is do that way. We gonna have to just throw these hands. I was like, we gonna have to do it like that because I can't let you go down like that. And it was one of those like scenes out of a movie type thing. I was like, whatever. But again, appreciate y'all for being on this episode of the Highlight Reel, and yeah, thank you to the listener, the viewer. You know, however you're seeing this or getting this content. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for tuning into this episode of the Highlight Reel. Again, thank y'all for being guests. And that's been your episode. Peace out.
Peace out.
All right, hold up.
I gotta
do me one favor. Hold this button.
Wait, cause y'all gotta see the locks.
Hold this button real quick. Just hold it real quick.
Cause my locks are better than yours.
She funny as hell.